Hello and welcome back to the mysterious thief Forget-Me-Not. Last time we had our dancer and thief have a heart-to-heart on the balcony in the middle of the night, and I think we might continue on now the next day. Let's find out. Excuse me, could I get another glass? Coming right up. It's already been a couple of days since that night at the museum. Between the exhibit and the ongoing police investigation, we've been treating it as the time off we've all needed. I've especially found it easy to keep myself entertained due to Forget-Me-Not visiting me almost every night since that first time. Oh, wow. Each time we chat, we've traded topics with one another about pretty much anything that comes to mind. I ask them about the city and their heists, and they ask me about the company and the places we've been. It's definitely weird, but there's something about talking to them that helps calm me before bed. Due to a few dancers' recommendations, a large group of us are eating lunch at a restaurant on the north end before afternoon practice. My table mate Brianna taps me on the shoulder. Yes? Is something the matter? You've been scrolling through your phone for a while now. What's got you so interested? She leans over a bit to take a look, and I turn my phone to her so she can see better. The Azure Feather, the Millennium Opal. Wait, are these all Forget-Me-Not heists? Mm-hmm. I've admittedly gotten interested since the other night. You have, huh? She gives me a smug smile and a laugh. I don't blame you, that thief is pretty interesting. They've apparently been at it for almost 4 years. There's gotta be a bunch of really good stories in that time. It has been fun reading all these articles. Especially since I can ask them directly about them. Amid our conversation, we suddenly get a text at the same time, as do a lot of the other dancers in the restaurant with us, from the director himself. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm quickly typing this to tell you all to avoid staying in the theater too late, as per security's request. There's apparently been a few break-ins as of late, so we want to make sure you're all unharmed by whoever this could be. Keep up the good work. Break-ins? Everyone who finished reading the message starts murmuring to each other, some with worry and some with curiosity. First being used in that heist and now break-ins? Oh my god, can the city be normal for just one moment? Alex, who had been sitting with us thinking to themselves for a bit, whispers to our small group. You know, I actually overheard some security guards the other day after practice. It might have been about this. Oh, really? They give a confident nod. I was grabbing my stuff and accidentally listened in on a couple of them outside the dressing room. Apparently they think the break-ins might actually be 2 different people. You didn't hear it from me though, got it? We all give them a nod in return, and Brianna looks at me with a worried expression. You know, you're always the last one to leave after evening practice. Have you seen or heard anything about this? Thankfully, no. It's been uneventful. Well, just be careful. I can definitely say that a lot of us would be worried sick if whoever was sneaking around did something to you. That's very sweet, thank you. As the negative mood in the restaurant dies down, I put my phone in my pocket and stand up. I'll be right back. Sure thing, take your time. Alex and Brianna find a new topic to chat about while I make my way over to the bathrooms. After checking to see if anyone is around, I close myself in a stall and pull my phone back out, finding an article about the break-ins. Police have found no evidence of the identity or motive of the trespassers. The theater owners have strengthened security around all entrances and the rooftops. I put my phone back into my pocket, leaning on the stall door, deep in thought. Heightened security, I can't let this hinder me, though. Walking out of the stall, I start to wash my hands when I feel my phone vibrating in my pocket. After drying them off completely, I pull it out to see a message from my mother. I saw the news about that thief. Are you okay? Please call me. I should have figured that would reach her. I pull up her number and start calling, walking out of the bathrooms as I wait for her to pick up the phone. Irina. It doesn't take long for her to do so, and I'm greeted by her familiar voice yelling into my ears in Russian. I'm so glad you called. Is everything okay over there? Yes, Mother, I'm fine. When I saw the news about that thief and the jewel, my heart just about jumped out of my chest. You're not hurt or anything, are you? Nothing stolen? No, Mother, I'm all right, I promise. How have you and Father been doing back home? Don't try to change the subject on me, young lady. Sorry. But we're fine. You should be more worried about yourself. Being spirited away by some suit-wearing hooligan. I swear, no matter what country you're in, the police continue to be useless. A universal experience, eh? As I hear my mother continue to rant, I let out an embarrassed chuckle. In the corner of my vision, I spot Brianna and Alex looking at me, most likely wondering who I'm talking to. Sorry to interrupt you, Mother, but I need to head out now. Afternoon practice and such. I hear a disappointed huff from the other end. Very well, but you're not free from me yet, Inka. Call me when you have more time on your hands. And you had better be giving yourself some free time. I don't want to hear about you overworking yourself again from your uncle. Yes, Mother. I love you. I love you too. I hang up the phone and put it back in my pocket, walking back to the table to finish lunch. What my mother said at the end echoes in my head along the way. I don't want to hear about you overworking yourself again. Sorry, Mother. That line continues to ring in my mind for the rest of the day. Oh boy. Bit of a perfectionist, isn't she? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's take a quick break. It's now late into the night, and instead of sleeping like I should, I'm in one of the practice rooms at the theater hall. Everyone else is back at the hotel fast asleep. Meanwhile, I'm here alone doing an extra bit of practicing. Sitting down on one of the benches, I pull out my water bottle and take a hearty drink from it. Leaning up against the wall, I can still hear what my mother told me earlier, ringing in my ears like an endless cuckoo clock. I don't want to hear about you overworking yourself again. Again, the way she said that makes my heart sink, but I can't let it get to me. I shake my head to try and get rid of it, but it persists despite my best efforts. No one knows about my extra practicing, especially not my uncle. I get that, in a sense, but it is a security risk if you're alone out here practicing by yourself, like thief or no thief. They'd start to worry about me, and while I appreciate the concern, that isn't going to help me catch up to where everyone else is. I can make up for this later. Calming myself by breathing in and out deeply, I stand up from the bench to continue as I notice a light outside in the hall. Hiding in a blind spot nearby, I wait for whichever security guard it is to pass on by. Not very good at patrol if they're not checking the rooms, but good for her. Whoever this other trespasser is has made this more difficult for me than it should have been. I pull out my phone to double-check what time it is, and to see just how much longer I feel I should continue. Almost 3 a.m. Normally I can go until 4 AM, but I'm starting to feel my exhaustion creep up on me. Girl, what are you doing? This is not good. Like, your body needs rest to properly perform, to do what you aim to do. Come on. Maybe this is a good stopping point for tonight. After making sure I won't get interrupted by any wandering guards, I duck back into the corner and open my bag. I pull out a sweater, skirt and sneakers from inside and wear them on top of my leotard to make sure no one wonders why I'm wearing it this late. But just as I'm finishing up, I hear some sort of noise coming from above. And yep. In that split second, something, or rather someone, suddenly jumps out from the vent above, landing quietly in the room. I hide myself further in the blind spot, hopeful that I'm out of the way enough that they won't notice me. As I try to make out who they are in the darkness, they hop up onto their feet and mumble to themselves. Simple recon my ass. These damn theater jobs are always the worst. Squinting at them in the darkness, I can make out that it seems to be a man in his 30s, with short black hair and wearing dark clothes. Is that short hair for you? Well, it's dark. Okay. As they look around the room, not noticing me in my hiding spot, they pull out some sort of sheet from their bag and look it over. I suppose that answers who the other trespasser is. They eye the sheet up and down, still thinking out loud to themselves. Already checked the dressing rooms. That's no good. They increased security there. I see this as my best chance to try and leave without them noticing, so I slowly tiptoe my way to the exit. All while glancing both at the door and back at them to make absolutely sure that I won't get caught. Meanwhile, they continue their mumbling, scratching their head as they put the sheet away. That's about it, I guess. Whoever this other trespasser is making my job harder than it needs to be. Excuse me? I quickly clasp my hands over my mouth, but not quick enough to stop my sudden response from escaping. Huh? What the... They start looking around to find where that sound came from. And the two of us end up making direct eye contact. I freeze in place, just a few steps away from the door, as a wide range of emotions flashes by on their face before they finally say something. You're the other trespasser? That's my line. You're just one of the dancers. Why are you even here this late? They pause, staring at my bag and then back at me before continuing. If you want to practice, do it in your hotel room. You sneaking around is making my job harder. I could say the same to you. You sneaking around is making it harder for me to practice. Excuse me? Sorry. What is it with Irina and having like no, I'm missing the word. But she's very trusting, just talking to thieves and trespassers without any worry for herself. Excuse me? Our bickering is cut short by another security guard making their rounds outside the room as we both dive for the blind spot. We wait with bated breath, neither of us making a sound, as the guard lazily checks inside the room with their flashlight. Okay, so they do check inside the rooms. When they finally leave, we both let out a deep sigh before getting back up. Listen, lady, I don't care what you're doing here, but can you do it when I'm not trying to sneak in? How was I supposed to know someone else was coming to the theater hall this late? Fair, I guess. An awkward air hangs between us, with neither of us knowing how to continue this conversation. You could make a schedule? Take turns? They stare at me for a bit before a surprised look quickly appears on their face. Hey wait, you're one she... Pardon? Oh, never mind. Ignore me. What are the odds? I give them a confused stare, but brush it off. Feeling my exhaustion once more, I pull out my phone and notice that it's a bit past 3 now. If it's, not too much trouble, I was actually in the middle of leaving. I don't recommend doing that right now. They pull out the sheet I saw earlier and show it to me. It's a map of the theater hall with multicolored lines showing security guard routes. They beefed up their forces this afternoon, so if you got used to the old routes, then forget them. That must have been when the director sent us that text. How exactly am I going to leave then? Not to worry. Even though they changed their routes, they actually made some loopholes that we can use to our advantage. They fold the sheet up and put it back in their bag, making their way to the door. Taking a quick peek out into the hall, they motion me to follow. I stare at them for a bit before they speak up again. Just trust me, I know this place better than you do. Unless you think you can sneak past all these guards yourself. With a sigh, I make my way over, and the two of us exit out into the hallway. Once in the hallway, they don't say a word, letting their movements do the talking for them, as I mimic them to the best of my ability. Hugging the walls to take advantage of camera blind spots, ducking into the rooms at their signal, and waiting for guards to pass. We continue like this the whole way down the hall, with me in awe at how perfect their movements are. It makes me want to ask just who they are, but I know this isn't the time to be asking them anything. Not until we're clear. We make it to the backstage doors when they finally stop and turn to me. Just a little bit farther, and you'll be good to leave through the back. Around this time they're a bit more lenient in that area, but not for long, so you better make it quick. Thank you for helping. But I'm confused why you would do so in the first place. Easy. The sooner you're out, the sooner I can get back to work. A sigh escapes me as I simply stare at them, unamused. Don't give me that look. Now let's go before anyone shows. Before they can finish, however, we're interrupted by someone's footsteps coming down the hall in our direction. Shit, there aren't supposed to be any guards coming around here right now. Follow me, quick. They backtrack towards the closest room, holding it open so we both can dive inside. Once inside, they motion me towards one of the corners as they open up the vent above. Sorry to leave you like this, but I need to book it. Can't afford to get caught here. What about me? Once whoever this is leaves, take the exit backstage and you'll be free in no time. Up he goes. In an instant, they crawl up into the vent, looking down at me from above. Take care, miss. And remember, you didn't see me and I didn't see you. Good luck. Closing the grate behind them, they vanish from view as I'm left pressed up against one of the corners in the room. I do my best to not make any sounds, but the footsteps get closer and closer. Holding my breath and clutching my bag tightly, they get louder until they stop right in front of the door to the room. In what feels like an eternity, the door slowly opens, and whoever this is enters the room. The They shine their flashlight directly at me, blinding me for a moment as I cover my eyes a bit too late. I ready myself for them to start berating me with questions about who I am and why I'm here, but instead I'm greeted with a soft, familiar voice. Miss Lebedev? I blink, trying to adjust my vision, as whoever this person is finally comes into view. Detective O'Malley? Not who I expected, but okay. I rub my eyes, thinking the brief blinding is making me see things, but before me really is Detective O'Malley in the flesh. Miss Lebedev, what in the world are you doing here so late? I pause for a split second before holding up my bag, quickly thinking up an excuse. I accidentally brought the wrong bag back with me to the hotel earlier, and I wanted to make sure it wouldn't get lost or damaged. You could have waited until the theater opened up again in the morning. I could have, if it wasn't for the fact that this was inside. I pull my phone and medicine bottle out of one of the front pockets, and Detective O'Malley stares at it for a bit before adjusting their glasses. My apologies for doing something like this when there's that trespasser sneaking around the theater, but I had to get everything back in one piece. I wanted to make sure whoever this was didn't take these things with them. Fair enough, I suppose. As I'm putting my phone back inside, they open the door for me. Come, I can escort you out so the night shift doesn't pester you too much. Thank you so much. As we exit the room, the detective glances up at the ceiling where the vent is before turning back to me. Just to be sure, you came here alone, correct? That I did. All right. Not a lie. Walking through the hall towards the exit makes it feel longer than it did when I was sneaking around earlier somehow. It's mostly silent, with only the detective quickly telling any security guards who pass that I'm not the one they're looking for and to continue their rounds. I start to feel a little awkward until they turn to me and start speaking. I want to apologize to you and the company for how long our investigation has taken. It normally doesn't take this long, but everything about that night has turned everything upside down. Not to worry, Detective. We're actually using this extended time here as our excuse to finally take some time off, considering how busy we've been as of late. If anything, I'd say we should be the ones to apologize to you for the trouble we've caused. Oh no, you really shouldn't. If anything, it'd be that damn Maximilian's fault. I apologize that you got wrapped up in that idiotic plan. Things like that are normally supposed to be cleared by me. Oh, that's right. You're the one in charge of the Forget-Me-Not case, correct? That's right. Just as they've been at this for over 3 years, I've been in charge of this case for just as long. They say that with such confidence, and yet their expression remains modest and unchanged. You must know quite a lot about that thief and their habits, if that's the case. You could say that. Although I suppose I still have a lot to learn based on the other night. Everything about that heist, from the challenge to you being taken out of the theater, was unheard of. Based on their mannerisms, however, I imagine they had everything planned out, assuming the jewel was going to be in a normal location. But upon seeing the fake jewels all being worn by you and your fellow dancers, they had to improvise at the last minute. The feathers hidden along the walls and being able to commandeer the vents and fans so easily are proof of this. I imagine they planned on making it seem like the jewel itself was flying like a swan to fit the whole motif, considering their love of theatrics. Although that's only conjecture at this point, with only my hunch to go off of based on past heists. Hearing them go on about the heist like this leaves me with a sense of awe. Theorizing based on context clues, using what they know about the situation prior to the incident. It's just like how Forget-Me-Not won that challenge in the first place. The detective seems to have noticed my stunned silence, pausing in the middle of the theorizing. Is something the matter?
I'm just really impressed. Listening to you talk about your theories and the evidence backing it up with such confidence. You really are quite knowledgeable about that thief. Just like they said.
Oh, well, it's nothing really. Just doing my job and all that. I can't help but giggle at how flustered they suddenly got after my compliment. As we get closer to the main hall, they clear their throat, regaining composure and continuing our conversation. Anyway, I've heard that you and a few of the dancers have had your curiosities piqued by the thief.
We have, yes. A few of us started looking up their previous heists just to see what else a thief has come up with. All these tricks and shows, they've all been so interesting to read about. Although I can only imagine how annoying it must be from your point of view.
Annoying is putting it lightly. We've been dealing with that thief for years, and yet we're nowhere close to being able to figure out who they are.
Not a single lead? That's impressive.
No kidding. That thief is much smarter than they look. Smarter than a thief normally should be. The detective adjusts their glasses once more, looking at me with a serious expression. Normally, with thieves and the like, the way they think is simple. They try to get into the heads of the officers to plan around what they do. But Forget-Me-Not, they're different. They don't think like a thief who is just trying to claim their prize and evade security. They think like a detective. They deliver that statement with such weight, it makes me think that they've had this on their mind for a while.
What do you mean?
Take the other night, for example. With limited time and resources, they were not only able to deduce who had the real jewel, but compensate for its new location in their escape plan. I was on ground level and hadn't figured out who held the real jewel, but they were able to from their hidden vantage point. That kind of mental prowess, it's been present in their heists from day one. And if I'm being honest, it fills me with awe. I'm stunned into silence, unable to make any kind of response to everything that the detective just told me. I figured from reading all those heists that Forget-Me-Not was quite intelligent, but to hear it described like this, and by the lead detective on the case to boot, it's surprising. Reflecting on the moment on the rooftops makes me realize that Detective O'Malley's train of thought is absolutely true.
I even said they sounded like a detective.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a lot all at once, wasn't it? I didn't mean to overwhelm you.
No worries, detective. It was actually really fascinating. I'm not surprised you don't have any leads based on this.
Yes, they're very good at covering their tracks as well. The only theory I can come up with is that they're either a former detective or related to one very closely. But a theory like that has no grounds for any formal investigation, so we're stuck with our hands tied. Ah, we're at the main hall. Detective O'Malley steps in front, holding the door open for me with a nod.
Thank you.
Stepping into the main lobby, I turn to Detective O'Malley and give them a nod.
Thank you for escorting me out. And I'm sorry for any trouble I may have caused.
Not to worry, Miss Lebedev. I'll see to it that this doesn't affect you or the rest of the company. And I'll be sure they don't find out about this either.
I was just about to ask. Thank you.
Would you like me to drive you back to the hotel? Calling a cab at this time of night is more hassle than it's worth.
You really don't need to do that, Detective. You've already done so much.
Consider it my way of apologizing for blinding you earlier.
I can't help but let out a laugh at their playful jab. Very well then. Thank you in advance. The two of us exit the theater out into the parking lot, with the detective escorting me to a small car sitting by itself near the front. As we're driving down the road back towards the hotel, I stare out the window, thinking about everything that happened tonight. That other trespasser I met, everything the detective told me about Forget-Me-Not. I wasn't expecting all of that from just another night of secret practice. The dull hum of the car calms me as we get closer to the hotel. I walk into my hotel room with a big yawn, the clock on the wall saying it's almost 4 a.m. The urge to just flop down onto the bed and fall asleep like this is tempting, but a sight on my balcony makes me change my mind. Oh! Waiting in the moonlight is none other than Forget-Me-Not, their suit and cape practically glistening against the night sky.
What's their sleep schedule like? Because they still have, like, a day job.
Oh well. I walk on over to the balcony door, giving it a soft tap as I go outside. Good evening. They turn upon hearing me, with a big grin on their face.
Ah, there you are. I didn't come at a bad time, did I?
They stare at what I'm wearing, making it obvious that this is anything but normal. No, you're fine. I just had to step out for a bit.
Huh, alright.
You didn't wait long, did you?
It's fine. I found ways to pass the time. Though you seem pretty tired. Do you want to save this for another night?
Is it that obvious? I'd feel bad, considering you had to wait.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's no problem at all to reschedule. I'd rather you get enough sleep.
If you're absolutely sure.
And I am. As if proving their point, another yawn sneaks up on me.
I'm sorry about this. Is tomorrow a good time?
If it is for you, then it is for me.
Very well then. Good night.
Good night. I give them a little goodbye wave, walking back inside. Just as I'm closing the balcony door, I hear something and turn around.
Did you say something?
But by the time I look, they're already long gone, their glider not even visible over the horizon.
Must just have been hearing things, I suppose.
I don't think you did. With another yawn, I start to finally get ready for bed after such a long and exhausting night. Yeah, what a night indeed. The next day. Irina, I'm gonna start yawning too if you keep doing that.
Sorry.
Another day goes on like any other, and the adventure I had the other night feels like a distant dream because of it. Afternoon practice has just wrapped up, and I'm walking out of the theater with Adriana and Jacob in tow. Maybe Irina's just bored of how everything's the same as always. It feels like we're always either here, at the hotel, or at some restaurant. For being our time off, we sure are just doing what we usually do. Adriana gives an embarrassed huff while I let out a giggle.
I think it's been quite nice though. And there's definitely more we haven't seen of the city yet.
That's true. I hear there's this really good bar near the business center. Finally, I've been wondering when they would go there. If it is that bar. Yeah. I think it was called The Gallant Rogue or something like that. Everyone I've asked has recommended it a ton. Oh, I'd be down to check it out. Where is it exactly? We can go check it out right now if you want.
Excuse me.
A voice suddenly interrupts our conversation, and all three of us turn to see where it came from. We end up spotting a postal worker carrying a large bouquet of red flowers coming towards us. Good day. Do you three work here?
That we do. We're part of the ballet company.
Excellent. That's great news already. They grab the handheld device sitting on their waist, pushing some buttons on the screen with their free hand. I've got a flower telegram to deliver to someone in your company. Would you three happen to know how do I say this, Irina Lebedev? All three of us say nothing, simply staring at them, until both Adriana and Jacob point to me. Yeah, she's right there. The postal worker blinks back in silence for a brief moment before they respond. Oh, what luck. Well then, here you are, miss. Hastily yet carefully, they place the bouquet in my arms. Meanwhile, I'm still staring at it and them, incredibly confused.
Are you certain this is for me?
That I am. Take a look for yourself. They show me their handheld device, and right on the screen I see as bright as day, to Irina Lebedev of the Pavlova Ballet Company. Putting it back on their hip, they adjust their cap and give me and the others a nod. Have a good day, you three. Cheers. I watch them walk out of the hallway, clearly satisfied that the delivery was so easy. But I still say nothing, continuing to be confused by the gift that was suddenly thrust upon me. That's no fair. Why do you suddenly get flowers? And really pretty ones to boot. I've never seen these before. She's absolutely right. The bright red flowers are stunning to look at, and the sweet, subtle scent they give off brings the bouquet together. A little card sits in the arrangement, with a side that's facing me showing the name of the shop these flowers presumably came from, Ramona's Flowers. I carefully pluck it out and flip it around to see if there is anything written on the other side. Jacob and Adriana lean in to get a better look.
Let's see here.
On the back is just a couple of short sentences, without any name, initials or signature to go along with it. The card itself reads as follows. The meaning of these flowers rings true for both them, and the lovely dancer therefore. May they give you a sign that you're perfect as you are. That's lovely.
This language.
In the bottom corner, I notice a drawing of a flower, and I instantly realize who the surprise gift is from. I can feel my face turning redder, and it seems Adriana and Jacob noticed. Ooh, Irina's got an admirer. The lovely dancer, therefore. How poetic. Irina, your face is almost as red as these flowers. Nah, look at how embarrassed you are. Oh, do you know who they are?
Tell me.
To think that while we were busy practicing, you went off and found new love here in the city instead.
Adriana.
The two of them let out hearty laughs, and I can't help but join in with an embarrassed one of my own. I hold the bouquet gently in my arms, staring at the flowers fondly.
They really are so beautiful. I wonder.
An idea quickly comes to mind as I pull out my phone and hand it to Adriana.
Could you take a picture of me with them?
Sure thing. Hold on a sec. Adriana steps back a bit, deciding on the right distance and angle as she holds up my phone. Say cheese. She takes the picture and hops back, looking at it before returning my phone.
Thank you. Do you two mind if we move that bar visit to some other time? I want to go somewhere else today.
Not a problem. Where are you going? I hold the card up, flipping it over to the name on the other side for Jacob to see.
I want to go to the shop these are from. They mention a meaning of some kind, so perhaps someone there would tell me.
Good thinking. Better than just trying to figure out what kind of flowers these are on our own. mean, you could. But okay, sure, it is quicker.
I'll see you two later then.
Especially if you want to look around the city anyway. See ya, Irina. Giving them a quick wave, I make my way out of the theater, my sights set on this Ramona's flowers that this gift came from. I saw the cat again.
Here you go.
Much obliged, miss. After returning to the hotel for a brief moment to put the bouquet into a vase, I finally make it to my destination, the street known as Sidewind Avenue. The cab driver mentioned this was where that flower shop was located, and indeed I see it in front of me clear as day. Clear as day.
Time to see just what sort of meaning they meant, and to maybe see if I can thank them for it.
Okay, cat. Orange cat. Walking closer to the building, I notice a little orange cat tucked away in the alley right beside it.
Why, hello there!
I squat down and hold my hand out, hoping to get it to come closer to me. The little kitty approaches me cautiously, sniffing my fingers before finally headbutting them. Once I start patting it, it practically pushes itself into my palm, purring louder than I've ever heard a cat purr before. I glance at the name tag on its collar, which reads Marigold.
Well, aren't you just a cutie, Marigold?
As I get back up, little Marigold sits right down in front of me, looking straight up and letting out a loud meow for attention.
I'd love to pet you longer, but I have to go take care of an errand. I'll be sure to give you another scritch on the way out, alright?
They seem to understand what I mean, as they let out a big yawn and walk back over to where they were sitting before. Smart kitty. Okay, we'll look at everything else before. Can we go there? Looking down the street further south, I can see the business center off in the distance.
Wasn't that bar Adriana mentioned somewhere around there? The Gallant Rogue or something along those lines? I didn't think I'd be so close. Maybe I can bring those two here later, when we're in the area for dinner.
Okay, but to the left we can go, yeah? Anything else? No. Then we can look at the sign, Ramona's Flowers. Standing before me is my destination, the flower shop known as Ramona's Flowers. It's a modest-looking shop, but a cozy one as well, what with the flowers, the warm-colored bricks, and the simple sign that ties it all together.
Apparently the flower decorations on opening night were ordered from this shop. At least that's what Uncle said. He mentioned that locals praise the shop as the best to turn to. I can believe that, based on how lovely that bouquet was.
Hopefully whoever is working here today will help answer my questions about said bouquet. And who knows, maybe I'll also get something nice for myself as well. Okay, then let's go in.
Am I ready to head inside?
Yes. Walking up to the door, I pull out the address to double check that this is the right shop. I mean, how big is this town and how many flower shops with the same name would it have?
Ramona's Flowers and Sidewind Avenue. Everything checks out.
Tucking it back into my purse, I open the door. The chime of a bell and the soft scent of flowers immediately greet me. Upon entering, the smell from earlier envelops me even further, now with all the other flowers joining in. The cozy interior matches the exterior, everything organized and displayed so elegantly yet efficiently. While looking around, an older woman at about my height greets me from the cash register. Hello there, miss. The name's Ramona. Welcome to my shop. I'll be happy to help you in just a moment, so feel free to look around more if you'd like.
That I will, thank you.
Giving me a big bright smile, she returns to looking at her phone, scrolling through it while punching numbers into the calculator on the counter. Okay, the display. Sitting right in the middle of the shop is a large display of numerous flowers and plants. Some I can recognize, like tulips and chrysanthemums, but others I haven't even seen before. In the handsome arrangement, I spot a few pots of really pretty lilies.
Magda loves lilies. Anytime she sees one, she says she has to either buy them or take a picture of them at least. Excuse me, do you mind if I take a picture of these?
Go right ahead, knock yourself out. I kneel down to not strain my back and pull out my phone, steadying my hands to get just the right angle. After taking a couple of pictures, to make absolutely sure they came out right, I stand back up and pull up Magda in my contacts.
Saw these at a shop called Ramona's and figured you'd like to add these to your collection. Done.
It doesn't take long before I get a reply, and I can immediately tell she loves them. Key smash. These are so pretty. Can you text me the address, please? I want to buy them so bad. I can't help but giggle at how giddy she sounds, pulling up the address again and typing it out as she asked. Putting my phone back in my purse, I gaze at the display again.
These flowers all look amazing. This shop truly does take incredible care of everything.
Okay. Can't go in the back, of course. The window. I walk over to the window to look at the flowers lined up alongside it. It's a quaint collection of smaller potted plants, all with little signs showing what they're called and where they're from. Outside the window itself isn't the best view, as it just faces the other building next door. But down in the alley, I can see the little cat I saw earlier. Seeing it staring up at me, I can't help but give it a warm smile and a tiny wave.
Is the cat in the alleyway yours?
Miss Ramona takes her eyes off her phone for a brief moment upon hearing my question and gives me a firm nod. That's right. Little Marigold has lived in the shop since the day I found her wandering around. In the evenings, I let her in so she can sleep in the office in the back. She's smart enough to know when it's better to sit out there or in here, so I never have to worry. Okay, I have to nitpick here. Just because Irina pointed out the lilies. Lilies are toxic to cats. Not even like eating them, but just the pollen, or like every part of the lily, and also many other flowers are toxic to cats, so sounds like a bad idea what she's doing. Like, it sounds cute, but okay, just, it's a story. Okay.
Aw, how cute. I can tell you take good care of her.
Why, thank you. She goes back to scrolling through her phone, and I take one last look at Marigold before returning to my browsing. Okay. I don't think we have that much else. Okay, then we'll talk to Miss Ramona. Am I done looking around? Yes. After looking around the store to my heart's content, I finally walk up to Miss Ramona, who is still scrolling on her phone near the cash. Upon seeing me get closer, she tucks it carefully into the pocket of her apron and turns her attention to me. How can I help you today?
I had received a bouquet telegram today and wanted to ask some questions about it.
Oh, is there something wrong with it? I'd be more than happy to replace it for you if it's not to your liking.
No, that's not it at all. It's a beautiful bouquet and I'm happy to have gotten it. I just wanted to ask about what the flowers meant, since the sender alluded to their meaning.
Oh, is that all? Of course I can help you with that. Could you show me the bouquet?
Sure thing.
I grab my phone from my purse and open the gallery to pull up the photo Adriana took earlier. However, after showing her the photo, Miss Ramona's expression quickly changes into a look of surprise. And then a smug smile for some reason. Oh. So you're the one who got the amaryllis bouquet.
Oh, these are called amaryllis? They're very beautiful. But what do you mean by that?
Because those flowers are quite special, you could say. The person who picked them out is very particular about these sorts of things, so I wondered who would be getting these of all flowers. I stare at the photo again in awe.
I wasn't aware these flowers were so special. My apologies, but I'm not very well versed in flower language.
Not to worry, my dear, not many people are. Especially not flowers as uncommon around this time of year as these. You said you wanted to learn about their meaning, correct?
Yes, I did, if it's not too much trouble.
It's no trouble at all. Amaryllis have a common meaning, beauty or beautiful. Most people who pick these for their meaning often do so only looking at their surface value. But I can guarantee you that the person who picked these out went for their more uncommon meaning.
And what would that be?
Miss Ramona looks at me straight on, giving me the warmest smile I've ever seen. Worth more than their beauty. A lovely meaning, no? I stare back at her in awe. That meaning, worth more than their beauty, it suddenly makes the message on the card mean so much more as a result. The meaning of these flowers rings true for both them and the lovely dancer therefore. I think about that night on the balcony with them and the way they described me then. Such a corny, flirty message, and yet I can't help but love it.
It really is. If it's not too much trouble, I have another question.
Of course, dear. I'm always happy to help.
Would it be alright if I could send a bouquet in return, as thanks? Or at least a flower or two? I'd feel a little upset if I didn't properly thank them for this.
Miss Ramona blinks at me for a brief moment before she goes back to giving me that big smile from before. Of course, that's perfectly alright. I assume you'd like to put a fair amount of thought into the meaning of your bouquet as well?
That I do. Although I only know the most basic flower language.
Not to worry, dear. We can help.
We?
That's right. My main employee has been in the back working on bouquets this whole time. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to help you pick some flowers. To help you pick some flowers out. She turns to face the back door, holding out her hand next to her mouth, and yells, "Dee, help the lady arrange a bouquet for me, would you?" I turn to look at the door as she is yelling and spot someone's head peeking out from behind. They quickly duck back in before I can see what they look like, without responding to Miss Ramona calling them.
Are you certain this is alright?
Don't worry about it, dear. She's just more used to working alone back there. She walks up beside me and lightly pats me on the back, pushing me forward. Go on, then. When you've picked out your bouquet, I can help bring you up back out here.
Alright, I suppose.
I walk forward, looking back to see Miss Ramona giving me another big smile as an okay. Giving the door a light knock, I open it and walk inside. Oh boy. On the other side is a smaller room, also full of flowers that are ready to be turned into bouquets and arrangements. A large window sits in here, with various ribbons, tools and flower pots lined up against it. The television in the back is currently turned off, which makes the room even quieter when I notice no one around.
Hello?
No response. I try again, wondering if someone really is back here.
Hello? Miss Ramona said I could ask you to help me create my bouquet?
I walk up to the large table in the middle a small collection of stationery and gift-wrapping items strewn about. Someone must have just been here, as a half-finished bouquet sits in a vase in the middle. As I continue to walk around, I feel my foot kick something. Oh, freaking... I jump at the sudden noise, turning to its source to realize that it came from underneath the table.
Oh, there you are. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just, dropped something. Yeah.
All the way under there?
I mean, it's not impossible. I'll be right out. I can hear them shuffling out onto the other side and finally see who they are as they crawl up onto their feet, brushing any dust off of their apron. Appearing before me is a young woman, a little above my shoulders in height, with dark curly hair tied into a ponytail.
It's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry if I disturbed you while you were working.
Oh, you're fine. Not many people come back here, so I, dropped stuff in surprise. I stare at her for a moment, something in the back of my mind coming forward upon seeing her up close.
My apologies, but do I know you?
Huh? I don't think so. You're probably mistaking me for someone else.
No, I'm certain that...
I stare a little longer before it finally dawns on me.
Oh, I remember now. You're that girl I bumped into on opening night, the one who got lost looking for the bathroom.
She lets out a very quick sigh as she scratches the back of her neck sheepishly. Oh, right. How could I forget? It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again too. My name is Irina Lebedev, and you?
Desiree Lechance. A pleasure. She takes the half-finished bouquet on the table and puts it away nearby, chatting with me at the same time. So I understand you want to thank the person who gave you that bouquet?
That's correct.
They're a regular at our shop and I help them personally, so once the bouquet is sorted out, we can get it delivered to them no problem.
That's wonderful. Since you know them personally, would it be a problem if I accompanied you to deliver this in person? I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
She averts her gaze from me slightly while clearing her throat. I mean, they aren't too keen on random drop-ins, even from people they know. Besides, they prefer their confidentiality and whatnot, I hope you understand.
Oh, of course.
She grabs a medium-sized ring binder that was next to the television, placing it on the table as she slides another stool next to the one already there. Now come, take a seat. We can start by looking at the catalogue and picking out any flowers that catch your eye. Unfortunately, the amaryllis that they picked out were a special order, so they aren't in here, but we can definitely find something in the current season.
Alright then.
Well, that would also just be boring to give back the same flowers, right? I take a seat next to her and she opens it to the first page, starting to go over the different flowers and plants as we flip through. She talks about just about everything, their meanings, what flower combinations work well together, which ones are most often used for certain kinds of bouquets. All the while I quietly listen in, only speaking when they ask for my opinion or for whether I think a flower would be suitable for my gift. The whole process is slow and thoughtful, but also very calming for some reason. I look over to her from time to time, noticing that no matter what plant it is or how many we've talked about already, she continues to have the same vigor and enthusiasm. I'm not sure why, but something about this feels so familiar. That looks like a good amount. Before I've realized it, we've skimmed through the entire book, Desiree writing down every plant that piqued my interest into a notebook nearby.
Will we be able to make a suitable bouquet with what I picked out?
Of course. I've already got a combination in mind and can start working on it as soon as I can. What do you think about this? She shows me a small handful of flowers from the list.
Oh, that will look lovely. I think it's perfect.
Great. It'll take a little bit though, so I hope you don't mind waiting in the front until it's ready.
Yes, that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'll try and get this done quickly so you don't have to wait around too long. Miss Ramona at the front can run you through our delivery process and payment if you'd like.
That sounds alright to me.
We both get up from our seats, with Desiree putting the binder away and grabbing her tools to start working again. Before I start heading to the exit, however, she suddenly calls out to me. Oh right, we're currently backed up from the ballet, so it might take longer than I thought.
Oh, okay, that's not a problem. I don't mind waiting.
Before I can finish my sentence, however, my foot snags on the stool I just sat on, causing me to lose my balance. Watch out! I close my eyes tightly, anticipating the pain of falling onto the floor square on my back. Instead, I open them to see Desiree, who caught me mid-fall, and is now staring at me with a nervous and concerned look on her face. With how they caught me, and the way I wrapped my arms around them, the scenario feels oddly familiar. Are you alright? You're not hurt or anything, are you? I blink, still trying to get my bearings straight, but manage to muster out something of a response.
I'm fine.
The words that come out of my mouth solidify this odd déjà vu I'm feeling as she pulls me back up onto my feet. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to distract you and cause you to trip, and... She goes on with her stammering, but I start to zone out, something coming forward from the back of my mind as I watch her. The whole time I've been here, something has felt oddly familiar. Between how calm I felt when I was listening to her speaking, and now this déjà vu with how she caught me, it's almost like I'm with that thief right now. I chalked it up to me having them on my mind this whole time, but this is all too much of a coincidence at this point. And the way Desiree has been acting, between being under the table earlier to how she reacted to my question of the thief's address, it almost seems like she's trying to hide something. Miss Lebedev? This is all more than just coincidence at this point, and the more I stare at Desiree, the more it starts to come together. Okay, she's not that oblivious. And now I'm just waiting for her to say she has a twin or something.
It's you.
Okay, thank you. Huh? What's me?
You're forget-me-not.
Her face grows paler after hearing that, as she takes a step back from me. What? No, you're mistaken. You must have hurt your head during the fall. Here I can get the first aid kit and...
No, I most certainly didn't. This is all too much to be a coincidence, especially with how you're reacting.
Anyone would be surprised to suddenly be accused of being the forget-me-not.
But the way you caught me, it's just like on the rooftops before. No, this time you didn't accidentally take my ring again.
Yeah, hey, don't try and trick me like that. She stares at me for a bit before letting out a deep sigh and pinching the bridge of her nose. There's no convincing you otherwise, is there?
No.
Oi. Alright, you win. She sits back down on the stool, motioning me to follow suit. I do just that, after closing the door, and turn to look right at her. She's hunched over onto the table, resting her head on her hands as she sighs again. Of all the people to realize who I was, I didn't think it would be you. Even the detective hasn't figured me out in over 3 years.
You've just done a good job of hiding yourself, I suppose. Although, I guess I can thank you for the bouquet personally now, so thank you.
You're welcome. I wasn't expecting you to try and send a bouquet back. That wasn't part of the plan.
It seems like nothing about our interactions ever go according to plan, huh?
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
She lets out an embarrassed chuckle, finally looking at me, her cheeks tainted a faint red, as she gives me a smirk.
It must be weird seeing me without the costume on, huh?
A little bit. You actually look quite different without it, so I didn't recognize you.
That's on purpose, you know. People get so fixated on the suit that seeing me in my civilian wear feels too underwhelming, so they doubt themselves.
Like me.
I'm surprised how quickly you figured out I sent the bouquet. I didn't even leave my normal signature.
It was the language you chose that tipped me off. Just like what you said on the night of the heist. What was it again? The jewel suits a beautiful swan such as yourself perfectly.
Please, I'm begging you, forget I said that. I couldn't sleep from how embarrassed I was. We both share a laugh, which helps ease the awkward tension between us. I then let out a soft sigh as I look at her.
If I'm being honest, I prefer seeing you like this.
Huh? Why is that?
Well, all the other times we've spoken, you've been in disguise as the thief. But right now, I'm not looking at Forget-Me-Not. I'm looking at you, Desiree.
Desiree's face turns a bright red at my remark as she averts her gaze from me. Meanwhile, I giggle at how flustered she is.
And this is another good reason why I like seeing you like this more. It's easier to see you blushing.
That's not fair. Now you're just teasing me. She lets out an embarrassed laugh before looking back at me, her face still a bright red. But I will admit it's nice to be myself around you. Talking to you and just seeing you each night has really made these past few days great. She slides her hand close to mine as she continues. We've only known each other for a short time now, but I hope that I can even partially become someone you feel just as comfortable around. She gently holds my hand, averting her gaze again as her face turns an even brighter tint of red. I smile back at her, a blush lighting my cheeks too, but I quickly pull my hand back, cradling it as I try to subdue the sudden panic attack. My hand starts to shake a little, and I hold it tightly to try and hide this.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
I look back at Desiree as I try to calm myself and see that bright look she had on her face change to a sad, worried gaze. Are you okay? I didn't hurt you or anything, did I?
No. You didn't do anything wrong, I promise.
A sudden wave of nausea hits me as the usual after effects start to rear their ugly heads.
Damn it.
I start to stand up, albeit a little wobbly, as I try to compose myself.
I guess the other night is catching up to me. I should probably head back to the hotel.
Are you sure you're okay to walk? You're looking really pale. I could help escort you out if you'd like.
No worries. I just need to take a nap back at my room. Thank you for your concern.
As I stabilize myself enough to walk, I start to turn towards the door.
I'd still like to get that bouquet, or even just a few flowers for you as thanks. Next time, maybe we can pick out flowers you like. How does that sound?
Yeah, sure.
It was nice to sit with you here, and to finally meet you, Desiree. Take care. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'll see you later. I try my best to ignore that hurt in her voice, still rightfully concerned over what happened, as I walk out of the back room. I smell a misunderstanding. But okay. Giving Miss Ramona a wave goodbye, I walk out and call a cab to head back to the hotel as soon as I can. All while fighting off the onset attack that suddenly crept up on me.
Why? Why did that have to happen again now of all times? Everything was going so well.
Oh boy. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it here for today. Okay. So we finally got a proper face-to-face, or yeah, I don't know, it's actually a bit earlier in the story than I would have expected, but it's also, yeah, good not to let her be too oblivious, I think. So yeah, that was nice while it lasted before that panic attack came on. And yeah, I hope Desiree isn't thinking that she was rejected right there or something.
But yeah, that's it from me for today. As always, I'd appreciate if you'd let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Thank you so much for watching,
and until next time, bye bye.